Thucydides of Athens began writing the history of the war between Athens and Sparta at the very moment it broke out. He believed this war would be greater than any that had come before it, and he was right. This was not just a conflict between two city-states. It became the greatest upheaval the Greek world had ever known, a war that drew in allies, enemies, and even non-Greek peoples. In its scale, its destruction, and its consequences, it surpassed all earlier wars in human memory. To understand why this war mattered so deeply, we must look far back into the earliest history of Greece. In ancient times, Greece was not a land of great cities. Its people lived in scattered settlements, constantly on the move. Migration was common because stronger tribes easily displaced weaker ones. There was little commerce, no stable trade routes by land or sea, no accumulated wealth, no permanent buildings or defensive walls. People lived only to meet daily needs. They did not plant long-term crops because invaders could arrive at any moment and take everything. Because survival was possible anywhere, people felt little attachment to place. Large cities did not develop. Great power could not take root. The richest lands suffered the most instability. Fertile regions attracted ambition, greed, and invasion. Power concentrated in the hands of a few, leading to internal conflict and destruction. But Attica, home of Athens, was different. Its soil was poor, and because it offered little wealth, it escaped many internal conflicts. As a result, its population remained stable for centuries. Refugees from across Greece fled to Athens for safety. Over time, this caused Athens to grow overcrowded. Eventually, the Athenians were forced to send settlers abroad, founding colonies in Ionia and across the Aegean Sea. Before the Trojan War, there was no single Greek identity. The name Hellas did not exist. People identified only by tribe: Pelasgians, Danaans, Argives, Achaeans. The term Hellenes spread slowly, beginning with Hellen and his descendants. Even Homer, writing long after the Trojan War, never used the word Hellenes for all Greeks. This shows how divided Greece once was, unable to act together, unable to unite for a common purpose. Unity only became possible when Greeks learned to master the sea. The first great naval power was Minos of Crete. He built a fleet, controlled the Aegean, and expelled pirates from the islands. Piracy before this time was not shameful, it was honorable. Even poets described people openly asking travelers, "Are you pirates?" Both Greeks and non-Greeks raided coastal towns. Settlements without walls were easy targets. This constant threat shaped early Greek life. Over time, naval power reduced piracy. Trade increased. Wealth accumulated. Cities moved closer to the coast. Walls were built. Permanent settlements emerged. With wealth came domination. Stronger cities ruled weaker ones. Tyrannies appeared. Navies became instruments of control. Agamemnon's power during the Trojan War, Thucydides argues, came not from loyalty, but from fear. He controlled the largest fleet, and naval power meant authority. Yet even the Trojan expedition, famous as it was small compared to later wars. Lack of money limited its size. Soldiers had to disperse to farm and raid, prolonging the siege of Troy. This weakness, Thucydides insists, was typical of ancient wars. Peace did not follow victory. Greece descended into chaos, exiles, migrations, revolutions. New cities were founded by the displaced. The Dorians seized the Peloponnese. Colonization spread to Italy, Sicily, and beyond. As wealth increased, states built fleets. Corinth became a naval innovator. Sea battles appeared for the first time in history. Yet even then, navies remained small until the Persian Wars. The Persian invasion changed everything. Athens became a naval superpower. Sparta dominated on land. Together, they defeated Persia, but their alliance soon collapsed. Athens ruled through tribute and fleets. Sparta ruled through fear and oligarchies. The growth of Athenian power terrified Sparta. This fear, not treaties or insults, was the true cause of the Peloponnesian War. Thucydides makes one final claim. He does not write to entertain. He does not repeat myths or legends. He writes only what he has seen or carefully verified. Speeches are reconstructed, not invented, to reflect real intentions. His history, he says, is not for the moment, but for all time, because human nature does not change, and future events will resemble the past. This is why the Peloponnesian War